Every now and again, Power Rangers will prove itself that it can do compelling stories. Some of these stories delve deep, where we find out things on our heroes and even our villains. A few of these even let us see that the Rangers aren't all that perfect. Sometimes so much grief happens they go, you know what? Screw this, blow that monster up and move on. Families can act out on each other, villains can murder with no remorse, revenge could be someone's only motive to live. The show is rated Y7, it has limitations on what it can do, what it can say. You can still tell some really great stories even under that rule set. You have to be more creative and subtle, but I think that adds to it. Sometimes it's better to not see the murder, just picturing it in your head makes it more gruesome because you know what you find disgusting. Thank you Takashi Kaniku for this topic. If you have an idea, a suggestion, leave a comment below. I might pick it one day.
The Rescue Mission.
Power Rangers does do references every now and again to pop cultures. Monsters sounding like Arnold Schwarzenegger, episode titles joking on movies, but Rescue Mission went all out and pulled in aliens. They have a space show, but they're constantly dealing with nature themes from the Sentai. Shouldn't they do something with space? They can't just ignore it like a certain ninja season. The sole purpose was to introduce this mystery book that helped start the next arc. But I wasn't expecting monsters invading a spaceship and killing the crew, nearly taking Leo and Mike with them. I'm surprised how far they went. They always get away with using monsters in gruesome ways. We have Halloween episodes, but you want to scare kids? This is your best choice. It comes out of left field. It's not just dark in tone, it's dark itself. That's why I love PR. One minute the Rangers turn into bugs, the next minute we have sticky monster goo on the floor.
Shadow 2.
The episode looks simplistic, but there's a lot of baggage that Kruger has. Up to this point, he's avoided using Ranger powers for a reason. His wife was killed by Grum's monster. It broke him in two ways. She's gone, but also he doesn't trust him. I think he knew if Kruger had went back into battle and didn't step away, he might have turned into a bounty hunter. This causes issues that affected the season. Due to this problem, his judgment was probably not all there, which could have been how the A Squad did what they did. Once Kat was kidnapped, Kruger had no other choice. I mean, they strapped a bomb onto her stomach. B Squad was unable to get to her. What choice did he have? Live in fear that you might turn evil or go rescue your friend? In a way, it was a good thing. I don't think he would have snapped himself out of it if it weren't for Kat's life on the line, which came full circle when he finally contained Grum in a card without killing him.
The Power of Pink.
It's alright to lose sometimes if you earn it. The one thing that almost never happens is our heroes dealing with a loss. Every time we see the Rangers, they always have the risk of being killed. One stupid mistake, one lucky shot, and that's it. But sometimes you have to die to save something that you love. Team-up specials are really important to this franchise. It remembers who came before, what they accomplished, seeing the actors again. It can give access to elements that you don't have and gives that continuity that the show lacks. This episode pulled out everything. We have the revenge of the Psycho Rangers, the Space Rangers who were a great cast, Lost Galaxy still had the Astro Megazord, all the pieces fell into place. What happened to Valerie Vernon sucked. I'm glad everything turned out well for her. But the writers used a bad situation and made something amazing out of it. Psycho Pink used her sword to split Cassie's morph in half, absorbing the energy, nearly killing her. Psycho Pink was going after Terra Venture, your friend is dying, the place you call home is at risk, the other Rangers are trying their best. What do? The Quasar Saber picked Kendricks for moments like this. Kendricks' death hits you like a bus. Rangers always get out of problems. It's a team up. They got help, and it never came. It's why a lot of people get really pissed off when she comes back to life. It's not that she came back to life, it's the way it was shoehorned in. If they had set it up earlier, it would have worked better. Episodes like this is why people are here today. This episode aired nearly 20 years ago and I'm talking about it. PR can leave an impact on people. It doesn't have to be a dumb kid show. I get mad when I see Ninja Steel and I remember this. I can't even get a Legacy Psycho Pink figure. Of all the Psychos, Pink is the one they don't do, but they got the time to do the green one that's not even in the show.
Jen's Revenge.
Remember when Billy was brainwashed and stole the Dragon Dagger? This could have killed all his friends, but in the next episode, it's all good. What would it be like if a reset button didn't happen? This is where Jen's Revenge comes in. Not trying to downplay the other three team members, but Jen has gone through a lot. Let's see. 1, she was proposed to. 2, was responsible for bringing in Rancic and that went up in smoke. 3, Alex is now dead. 4, she's trapped in time where she can't get back. A lot of blame can be put on her. 5, Someone that looks like her former fiance is now the Red Ranger. That will do things to your head. So when Fat Catfish, a former monster that almost killed Alex before, came back into the picture, he became the perfect storm. What Jen almost did was wrong, but it did bring up questions that PR never looks at. Each season keeps everything black and white. A monster attacks the city, the Rangers have to blow them up. No questions asked. But maybe there should be some questions. Is it right? Is it wrong? That's what I got from Jen's Revenge. You could argue that Jen killing Fat Catfish was fine. It's the arguments that Batman fans always bring up. When the Joker, the Riddler, and all the other rogues escape and get to murder people in Gotham, is it better to just end them? Is that justifiable? Especially when other PR seasons just blow up monsters left and right with no care in the world. It's a simple standard PR episode, but you can pull more stuff out of it. The show has layers. I like layers.
Go volcanic.
We've had kidnapping episodes before, but I was surprised that Lightspeed tackled it in this way. Normally on kids shows, they're not allowed to show real life weapons. It's because this could potentially influence kids into touching a real firearm, so they make things like lasers. Even though kids will be kids and use toy guns to go bang, bang, bang. That's not going to change no matter how you want to censor guns, either in design or title. It's the parents' responsibility to teach respect of weapons. I'm looking at you, Battle Gear, former Bandai marketing director Gregory Mitchell. But it's not just because of the shock, oh my god, the guy's using a real pistol. They also made the episode about the bad guy. He had problems in his life, that's why he did this. No way on earth does that justify any of the insanity. He did deserve to go to jail. I was just very happy he wasn't two-dimensional. Sometimes stuff like this happens. PR bringing in realism. They gave another good episode to Dana. I can forgive when certain Rangers get less focused because they get the better ones later. I almost like Ninja Steel's episode on about the homeless kids. They're bringing up a serious issue, then just flush it down the drain with a magic cooking machine. Great, now back to our regular scheduled program of dumb.
Countdown to Destruction Part 2.
No one will forget the death of Zordon. This is our death of Superman. Zordon was the father figure of the entire franchise. For 5 years, this blue talking head guided not just Earth, but many worlds. He did his best at saving lives. Zordon always picks the right people to be Power Rangers, because at any moment their lives will be put to the test in protecting their home. You can only lead with example. Earth was losing, the other planets were nearly gone, Andros struck his sister with a killing blow. Zordon saw this pain. Him choosing death to save the galaxy was something I'd never expect to happen. Was it fair? Zordon always gave everything. He never asked for anything in return. It could be why he never left his trapped dimension. What's even more amazing? He gave Rita and Zed a second chance. He saw something in them even with all the fighting for years. Turning Tommy evil, capturing the Rangers' parents, that list is long. To top off the episode, the writers make us feel bad about Ecliptor. A lot of people believe he should have gotten a second chance. He raised Astronema. He didn't capture her, he was just following orders. He knew Astronema being brainwashed to stay was wrong. Maybe that was the point. It showed that Zordon wasn't perfect. He didn't know that Ecliptor went through all that. I'd be open to a second chance of Ecliptor. As a fan, I would love if Ecliptor was the Silver Ranger and Beast Morphers. He was a robot in Go-Busters. I say someone reversed his Sandy death, stuck him in a robot body. It'll never happen, but there's always ways to shape a story.
Ranger Red.
I liked how RPM gave episodes to the main 3 Rangers, split up into 3 stories on how they survived to reach Corinth. Scott's was the best. There was a lot of remorse, doubt, and hate of what happened. Scott lost his brother on one of the final attacks of the city. His father basically wanted to blame Scott for his death. Maybe if they focused more on the mission and not taking risks, he would have survived. Scott himself takes the blame. He sees that he was too naive, didn't follow orders, and was one who got his brother killed. So he decided to do a suicide mission for redemption, rescue a piece of hardware to help out Dr. K. Of course he does save the day, finds the letter of his brother. Scott and his father mend things, but they don't turn it to Leave It to Beaver. Right to the end of the season, they don't see 100% eye to eye. The tension of leading the city and leading the Rangers is still a divide between them. This is what would happen. They're still mourning their loss. He lost a brother and a mother. That's not going to change even after they beat Vengeance. The world will always be different.
Frax's Fury.
Frax is the slow burning fuel of revenge. Rancic is one of those main villains that sets a new bar on how evil you can go. We've seen a lot of things. Rita brainwashing Tommy, Diabolical turning Ryan against humans, But something like this is another level. Ransik was a nobody, a mutant born from a mistake. His body being very unstable, contracted a disease from a monster that would force him to keep taking an antidote for the rest of his life. Finds the one human who looks past the mutation, offers help, and kills him. That's not even the twist. Frax survived the lab explosion, put whatever left of his body into a new robot body, and joined Ransik's army. Bid his time till he finally turned on him at the weakest moment. In some ways, you could see it as Ransik is addicted to a drug. The double cross, the triple cross of Ransik on Frax to his final death in the finale where basically no one even cared. What a waste of a person going from altruistic to revenge. In some ways, I wish Frax was the main bad guy.
The Master's Last Stand.
You're going to remember Wild Force for two things: Forever Red and Master's Last Stand. There was a mystery running through the season. Who was Cole? Why was he a jungle boy? Who was Master Org? Why was he human? Everything stems from a good old-fashioned love triangle that went horribly wrong. We know Master Org was real. A group of scientists were researching it. I think this is one of the few times civilians are looking at monsters. But of course, Adler got jealous with Cole's parents and kills them in cold blood. This jealousy went that far. For him to turn into a different species and kill two former friends, there was no sugarcoating this no matter what. To top it off, Master Org didn't care. He laughed and relished it when he told Cole. Ultimately they won, they killed off Master Org, and Cole showed he was a bigger man, respecting him even after death. But still, that's one messed up moment that Power Rangers pulled off. I'm glad Master Org was never redeemed. In a sense, Master Org killed himself. If Adler wanted to become evil but didn't target Cole's parents, he might have not found the Wild Force team.
Destiny defeated.
This closed out a ton of stories on Time Force. Wes's struggle with his father, Alex finally accepting that his obsession with Ransik costed him everything, Wes and Jen's relationship could begin, and the change in the future. Everyone's destiny was defeated. It was a long 4-episode arc starting with Frax's backstory, all leading up to Ransik nearly killing Mr. Collins.
Because your father will die tomorrow.
Those words are said over and over again. Every minute that ticks down, you're just thinking about it. Seeing Wes in a business suit was so wrong. Eric being pissed off failing his employer when it mattered. Just not caring about anything but the goal. I get it. Time Force is an organization. You're not supposed to show emotions. But it's not meant to remove them from the equation. You still needed to judge your moves, set up your plan. Everyone was out of sync and screwed up. It's Jason Fawn's best moment. I stopped remembering that he was playing both roles. The magic energy ball that Alex used to save Colin's life, it was a Deus, but it worked. If you think about it, Alex did plan ahead. Maybe not directly meant for Mr. Collins, but he could reverse someone gravely injured. This was the missing side of Alex that everyone needed. There's more episodes than these, like when Tommy is losing his powers, Eric being racist against monsters, Sky's father and his want to become the Red Ranger being used in Reflections. I'd like to hear your thoughts on my choices and what you consider dark for PR. New episodes every Monday. Next week, the pros and cons of Zords.